Hi, hello all. Hey Prashant, hi.
Hi Prashant.
Hey, sorry, I was on mute.
Okay, we'll just wait for few minutes. Or 5 minutes wait பண்ணலாம். Let members join. Meanwhile, I will also start the live over here. Okay, live started. Okay, so meanwhile, when people join, so இங்கே இருக்கிறவங்க just wanted to know எப்போ குரூப்பில் ஜாயின் பண்ணீங்க and I want to know about the group feedback here.
நான் இந்த மந்த் தான் ஜாயின் பண்ண பிரசன்னா.
Okay.
ஆக்சுவலாக எத்தனையோ குரூப் இருந்தால் கூட பட் இந்த குரூப் மாதிரி ஒரு நல்ல ஒரு கண்டென்ட்டான ஒரு குரூப் நான் பார்த்ததில்ல ஆக்சுவலாக.
Okay.
தேங்க்ஸ் டு பிரசாந்த் அண்ட் டு யூ.
ஷோர் தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச். இந்த மாதிரி குரூப் வந்து இப்படி இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் ஆக்டிவாக நல்லா பயங்கரமாக போச்சுன்னா.
ஆக்சுவலாக இது வந்து இதெல்லாம் மோர் வென் அதர் கண்டென்ட் கிரியேட்டர்ஸ் இட் வில் பி லைக் த குவாலிட்டி வில் பி paid group, but you guys are giving it for free.
Yeah. Same இது வந்து லைக் currently we are in Telegram. So same இது வந்து we are shifting to our website very soon. Free of cost. No இது ஸோ வந்து ஃப்யூச்சரில் பிளான்ஸ் வந்து என்ன அப்படின்னா இம்பார்ட்டண்ட் லிங்க்ஸ், டாக்குமெண்ட்ஸ், ஓப்பன் சார்ட் அனாலிசிஸ் எல்லாமே வந்து லிங்க்ஸ் அண்ட் ஸோ வந்து இங்கே டெலிகிராம் குரூப்பில் இருக்கும். ஸோ இது வந்து ஒரு சேனலாக கன்வெர்ட் பண்ணிவிட்டு you all will be redirected to the website forum community.
Super.
ஸோ நான் வந்துட்டு ஆக்சுவலாக 2 days பேக் தான் ஜாயின் பண்ணேன்.
Okay.
1000th மெம்பர்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
கரெக்ட் ஐ ரிமெம்பர். எஸ் யூ ஆர்.
யூடியூப்லேயும் நான் தான் 1000ன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். அங்கே யூடியூப் பார்த்த உடனே நான் வந்துட்டு இதில் டெலிகிராமில் வந்தேன். ஸோ ஐ திங்க் இன் டர்ம்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஃபீட்பேக் வந்துட்டு ஐ திங்க் லைக் சுரேஷ் செட், ஒன்று தட் ஐம் லைக்கிங் த மோஸ்ட் இஸ் இட் இஸ் எக்ஸ்ட்ரீம்லி நாலேஜ் ஓரியன்ட். மற்ற குரூப்ல போட்டா ஒரு 1000 மெசேஜ் இருக்கும். பை
இல்ல இங்க நல்லா கத்துக்கிற மாதிரி ஒரு ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி கொடுக்குறாங்க. அப்ப இந்த பிரசாந்த் சரி, நீங்களும் சரி. இப்போ மத்த குரூப்ல வந்து ஜஸ்ட் பை செல் ஸ்டாப் லாஸ் இது வந்து இங்க அந்த மாதிரியே தரது இல்ல. பட் யூ கைஸ் ஆர் கிவிங் ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி ஃபார் அதர்ஸ் டு லேர்ன் தெம்செல்ஃப்.
கரெக்ட்.
இஸ் வெரி குட்.
லைக் இன்னைக்கு கூட அந்த இது போட்டது, அந்த என்டையர் டிஸ்கஷன் வந்துட்டு ரொம்ப சூப்பரா இருக்கும். அந்த இஎம்ஐ 20, 50, 100 பேசிக்லி வாட் ஐ பர்சனலி ஃபாலோ இஸ் மோர் ஆஃப் 50 இஎம்ஐ பேண்ட். நான் வெறும் 50 தான் யூஸ் பண்றேன். பட் வாட் ஐ டூ இஸ் லைக் வித் 50 ஐ டூ இட் லைக் அ பேண்ட், லைக் ஹை, லோ அண்ட் க்ளோஸ். இட் கம்ஸ் லைக் த்ரீ பேண்ட்ஸ் ஆஃப் 50 இஎம்ஐ. So அது வந்துட்டு எனக்கு, so when I saw 20 and 100, so I was also trying to do some back test and see if the 20 bands work, and they also work well on a weekly time frame, whereas 50 works brilliantly on Nifty. There are certain stocks that work differently for different EMAs. Not
Correct.
all stocks follow a particular EMA. Most of them work differently. So அது வந்துட்டு எனக்கு பிடிச்சிருந்தது. Like looking for a bullish bounce என்றது, I usually end up looking at, let's say, ஒரு green candle bullish engulf இருந்தா பார்த்துடலாம் அப்படின்ற மாதிரி. But that kind of things, like it's very discussion oriented, which I like.
Nice. So அதான் we don't want to give you fish, of course we can, பட் வந்து அப்புறம் நீங்கள் எப்போ தான் வந்து மீன் பிடிப்பீங்க? ஸோ தட் கம்ஸ்
இல்ல
இன் தி
வேணாம்
ஆக்ட்.
எங்களுக்கு ஃபிஷ்ஷே வேணாம். ஃபிஷ் பிடிச்சிக்கலாம், திமிங்கலமே பிடிச்சிக்கலாம் நாளைக்கு.
கரெக்ட்.
பிரசன்னா, இந்த எக்ஸாக்ட் சார்ட்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா
ஆ
ஸ்க்ரோல் ஓகே
ம்
ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ட்ரிகர் பாயிண்ட் அந்த ஒரு green இருக்கு இல்லையா? நான் இஃப் யூ ரிமெம்பர் ஐ வாஸ்ட் ஃபார் இந்த மாதிரி இஎம்ஐ கான்ட்ராக்ஷன்ஸ் ஸ்விங் எதனா சாரி ஸ்கேனர் எதனா இருக்கான்னு
ம்
கேட்டேன், ஞாபகம் இருக்குங்களா?
ம்
இந்த மாதிரி இப்போ பாருங்க இங்க இப்போ மேலே ஏறி அது என்ன எல்லோ இஎம்ஐல பவுன்ஸ் ஆகி மறுபடியும் ஏறுது.
ம்
ஓகேங்களா?
ஓகே
பட் பிஃபோர் தட் அங்க ஒரு நல்ல கான்ட்ராக்ஷன் ஆகி ஒரு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கிரீன் கேன் இல்ல இது வந்து பவுன்ஸ் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இங்க மேல
ஓகே
மேல.
ஓகே
ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி வந்து ஆயிட்டே இருந்தா இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ட்ரிகர் பாயிண்ட் இருக்கும்போது இப்போ லைக் பிரசாந்த் சொன்ன மாதிரி கீழே ஸ்டாப் லாஸ் வச்சு அது மூவ்மெண்ட் பாத்தீங்கன்னா
ம்
300% ப்ராஃபிட் இருக்கு வித்தின் லெஸ் தென் அ இயர்.
ஆ ட்ரூ. நீங்கள் இந்த மாதிரி லைக் வாட் பத்ரிநாராயணன் டோல்டு, ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி இஎம்ஐ பேண்ட்ஸை வந்து யூ கேன் வெரி வெல் யூஸ் இட் ஃபார் அ லாங் டேர்ம். நீங்கள் ஸ்விங்ஸு உள்ளே வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஷார்ட் டேர்ம் அந்த மாதிரி நீங்கள் எடுத்துகிட்டு வரும்போது தெர் வில் பி லாட் ஆஃப் காம்ப்ளிகேஷன்ஸ். வீக்லி டைம் ஃப்ரேமில் நீங்கள் வந்து இதை ஒரு லாங் டேர்ம்க்கு எடுத்துகிட்டு போகிறீங்க அப்படின்னா திஸ் இஸ் தி பெஸ்ட் சாய்ஸ் டு கோ ஃபார்.
எப்பவுமே அந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இன்ஸ்டன்ஸ்ல இட் வில் பி வெரி ஹார்ட் டு கேட்ச் தட் மூவ், ஐ அக்செப்ட். பட் when it comes back to 20 EMA or 50 EMA அந்த பாயிண்ட்ல ரீஎன்ட்ரி ஆகும்போது நீங்க ஜஸ்ட் அந்த ப்ராஃபிட் பர்சன்டேஜ் பாருங்களேன், வித்தின் லெஸ் தென் 300-400ன்னு இருக்கும். ஆல்மோஸ்ட் லைக் 100 ஸ்டாக்ல 95% ஸ்டாக் இப்படி தான் இருக்கு, மூவ்மெண்ட் கொடுத்துருக்கு. எம்ஆர்எஃப் எனி ஸ்டாக் நிஃப்டி 50 ஸ்டாக்கே இருக்கு.
True. So அதான் the base is primarily price action, and when you have confluence with the price action nobody is going to stop you from winning. So அது the holy grail is you. அதுதான் வந்து the most thing that we need to identify, understand. அந்த புரிதல் வரத்துக்கு வந்து கொஞ்சம் ரொம்ப டைம் ஆகும். I usually say to my members, first and the initial first and the last psychology sessionல I would tell, அந்த கூஃபு பாண்டா படத்தில் ட்ராகன் ஸ்க்ரோல்னு படம் ஃபுல்லாக ஒரு ஹைப் ஏற்றிட்டே வருவாங்க. கடைசியில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இட்ஸ் ஜஸ்ட் அ மிரர், அவ்வளோதான். இட் இஸ் யூ ஆர் த கீ ஹியர், வேறு ஒன்றும் கிடையாது. மார்க்கெட்ஸ் இட் வில் ஆல்வேஸ் கீப் அப் அண்ட் டவுன். ஹவ் யூ கண்ட்ரோல் யுவர் செல்ஃப் இஸ் வாட் டேக்ஸ். All right. Okay, so leaving the stage to Prashant. Prashant, can you go ahead, share your screen and tell us about yourself, and maybe we can get into the VCP.
Sure. எல்லாருக்கும் ஹாய். ஸோ நான் வந்து ஐ எம் பேசிக்லி ஃப்ரம் சென்னை. ஸோ தேங்க்ஸ் டு பிரசன்னா ஃபார் திஸ் வண்டர்ஃபுல் குரூப். ஒரு பியூட்டிஃபுல் திங். ஐ திங்க் தெர் ஆர் பீப்புள் ஃப்ரம் அதர் லாங்குவேஜஸ் ஆல்சோ. ஸோ ஐ வில் ஸ்டிக் டு கைண்ட் ஆஃப் தமிழ் அண்ட் இங்கிலீஷ் கம்பைன்ட் ஸோ தட் அதர் பீப்புள் ஆல்சோ அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட். மேஜர் சுந்தரராஜன் மாதிரி அவங்கள கைது செய்கிறேன், ஐ வில் அரெஸ்ட் யூ அப்படின்னு சொல்லி மாற்றி பேசுகிறேன். ஸோ பீப்புள் வில் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட். ஸோ நான் வந்து பேசிக்லி ஐ பீன் இன் த மார்க்கெட்ஸ் exactly after the collapse. Now I entered stock markets around you can say October. There was a top last year. So ever since then I entered the market. So contrary to a lot of people who have seen after the corona crash, I think there were tons and tons of people who entered the markets. So my perspective on the market, because of the time in which I entered, was very different. And so I was also like most of you here, and I'm also I'm by no means an expert at all, because only thing is I'm just a passionate trader, and of course I also do it full time. And it's not like I have been like Madras trader Punamari. I have not like done in one trade. I have done 1.5 crore profit and all. I'm somebody who first year when I started, my goal is to make at least 20-25% return in cash market. I am very clear on it, and of course, like everybody, I also hit certain losses because I was doing bank nifty scalping on 1 minute time frame, 2 minute time frame, 3 minute time frame. So what I really found is people who are trading on a very small time frame, right? So you have to have a combination of multiple indicators. You cannot be only pure price action alone. So you can have, like, of course, support, resistance, and all works. But a lot of times in the slippages, I don't know how many of you are aware of. I don't know how many of you have traded in bank nifty, nifty futures, etc. So the slippages are huge if you don't know how to. If you don't know how to enter properly, right? Sometimes நீங்க வந்து you might feel that the market is collapsing. So when you enter, suddenly it will turn over, right? So when you look at it from a very micro perspective, like 1 minute time frame or 2 minute time frame, you can only scalp. And what I realized is scalping, unless you do 3 to 4 scalps in a day, you will not make the profits what you will make actually. So sometimes the scalpers will allow you eat like chicken and you shit like an elephant. Like, so which is like eat like a chicken, now your profits are like very small, and you need to consistently have an accuracy rate of around 80 to 90% of the time, because one bad trade can actually blow out this thing. Because a lot of times, again, when you exit, my style of trading is that I don't have a system built stop loss, because a lot of times in the stop loss hunting and all those things, people usually hunt the stop loss and take it. So what I started doing is I started moving into cash market trading from March. So March was when I think, and the Ukraine invasion happened around Feb March, is when actually suddenly there was there was a gap down, and suddenly the market opened. I think that is when actually I had a position also, and so I was thinking option selling was safe, because unlike option buying la sometimes you lose whatever premium you pay, like, but option selling you can have a hard cutoff, like you can only sell one lot, so you cannot lose that many, and you can exit. So it is similar to futures, but probably a little more safer because it expires around the future. So, but what I realized is, for a beginner, it's great to start with cash market. It is my opinion. You can differ, obviously, because unless you taste the market and unless you do what is right for you, don't take anybody's advice as 100%. It's your money, it's your brain. So definitely use it judicially. Having said that, now on this, I've been trading in cash market since March. So on the time, I used to just look at the fundamentals, like simple fundamentals I used to see. So even see, I do enter long-term trades. So when I entered long-term trades, I look at industry PE versus the stock PE. That is the basic thing I look at. So let's say if industry PE, if it is at 40, and the stock P is at 30. So I know that definitely the stock has some scope to go up. Even if it comes down, I'm sure eventually it will go up if the fundamentals are good. Like if you take HDFC Bank and all. So for a long time, it was range bound last year. So everybody was cursing HDFC Bank, because if you see the FIA selling was around 1,000 crores, 2,000 crores. On an average, they were selling minimum 2,000 crores at one point of time. I'm sure people who have been tracking the expiry month, weekly expiries, they would have known. And especially the month end expiry used to be crazy volatile. So I mean, Prasanna, maybe you can explain how they will balance out. Like they will short the future, and they will buy a call option, and then they will also add in positions on the stock level. So they balance it out in different FNO positions, what they will not be able to do in the stock. And so they actually close out all those positions. So these are all certain nuances which a lot of people will not know. So what you will be interested in is, you will start with a capital of 20,000 or 30,000, and you probably நிறைய பேருக்கு I mean, like, this is how I also started, because I did not want to risk a lot of money, and maybe I wanted to double it or triple it in 6 months, 8 months, or maybe 1 year's time. But eventually, slowly, over a lot, I started seeing losses, etc. But cash market, what happened is, once I started trading, I started seeing some, because my capital is big, and I used to share it with my dad, and my appa used to invest. So I started trading in cash market. So on the time I bought a lot of stocks at a discounted price. On the time, whatever I had explained in the group, right, EMA, the exact same concept I had traded. So in multiple different stocks, I'm talking about Nifty 200 stocks. So that is why, so that perspective was very simple. So when I started doing science, nothing is my tactic. Of course, everything is learned online. So I think I posted, and I will still say it again. Oliver Wellis, complete credit goes to him. But of course, you have to back test it. You cannot take anybody's, like you can say, what they say as like a word of God. You have to back test it. You have to see. Oliver Wellis talks about SMA. So I found EMA to be much better for me, because I mean, it's up to the individual to see back test and see what works. If you want to use SMA or WMA or something else, you are free to use. Um, Oliver Velez, VELEZ. So he is a very popular trader. I'm sure a lot of people say anything you want to know about moving averages, definitely see his videos. It's top notch. They don't go with what I'm saying, but I'm just telling you based on my experience. When on this simple explanation, I think Prasanna, maybe you can give an explanation of VCP, but based on my understanding, simple and enough, you have to first choose an uptrending stock. Okay, and basically you have to first see what is an uptrending stock. Basic definition na group lo post panna mari, whichever time frame you are choosing. So ideally I like to go on a larger time frame. So if you take a weekly time frame, the 200 EMA should be below 100 EMA, the 100 EMA should be below 550 EMA, and the 50 EMA should be below 20 EMA, and the stock price should be above 20 EMA. So ideally this is
Prashant, sorry to interrupt you. Are you sharing your screen? Because we cannot see anything.
no, not yet. I'm just explaining and then I will
Okay,
share.
because
You want me
since
to share now?
yeah, it's better. You can share and you can go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah,
just give me a second.
yeah, sure. And meanwhile,
Let me
since
know.
Prashant talked about slippages, see, slippages happen when you try with one lot or one small quantities because the market is an auction place. It is where பெஸ்ட் பைக்கு பெஸ்ட் செல் மேட்ச் பண்ணும், அவ்வளோதான். உங்களோட என்ட்ரி வந்து நீங்கள் கொடுக்குறப்ப அந்த இடத்துல பெஸ்ட் செல்லிங் எங்கே வருதோ அந்த இடத்துல கொண்டு போய் brokerage வந்து ஸ்லிப்பேஜ் ஆகும். லாட் ஆஃப் brokers will promise you that there won't be slippages. அதெல்லாம் சும்மா கட்டுக்கதை. பட் what at a point of time, any point of time, when you are going with, let's say you are buying Axis Bank. Axis Bank is currently at 900 levels. ஒரே ஒரு குவான்டிட்டி வாங்கினீங்க அப்படின்னா லிமிட் ஆர்டரில் போட்டாலுமே யூ வில் ஹாவ் சம் சார்ட் ஆஃப் அ ஸ்லிப்பேஜ் ஓவர் ஹியர். சம்டைம்ஸ் இட் இஸ் கண்ட்ரோல்டு, பட் வென் த மார்க்கெட் இஸ் வெரி மச் வாலடைல் யூ won't have ப்ராப்பர் லிமிட் ஆர்டர்ஸ் எக்ஸிக்யூஷன்ஸ். பட் ஸ்லிப்பேஜ் எப்போ நடக்காது அப்படின்னா the same 900 rupees of Axis Bank, when you are buying it at 900 or 9000 quantities அப்படின்னா ஒரு நிமிஷத்தில் 9000 quantities of Axis Bank won't get filled. See, you are buying, so the system needs 9000 quantities of sellers. அது மேட்ச் ஆகிற வரைக்கும் it will slowly keep on executing your orders. If at all order bookல போய் பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா, let's say you are buying Nifty at 5000 quantities, 1200 is the limit. So 5000 quantities போய் பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா it would have splitted it by 2000 அப்படி ஸ்ப்ளிட் பண்ணி தான் வாங்குவோம். The reason for slippage is what I told. Prashant, carry on Prashant.
No problem. So I'm just taking the index as an example. So as a good example of uptrending stock, because I didn't want to take any particular stock because usually see, wherever you buy Nifty, one confident thing is you don't need to set a stop loss. Just that you have to forget about the money for some time. Like if you have bought Nifty at 18800, so there is nothing to worry, or 18900 for that matter. There's nothing to worry that you will lose that money. So just that you will have to wait for the next high, because Nifty has always been making new highs, higher highs. So you can confirm it. So you just have to go. You can just look at it like it's on the yearly time frame. So if you see, it has always been on an uptrend. It has never, even if you see in the whatever the so-called Corona crash, yeah. So whatever the 2020, if you see this is the 2020 candle, okay, and this is the 2008 candle, okay. Where is the 2008 candle? Yeah. So if you see the entire move, how many red candles can you see here? So I'm talking about, this is a 1 year candle. So each candle represents 1 year time frame. Okay. So if you see the entire Corona crash is just this week. Okay. So long term, for normal people who are investing or who don't want to care about looking at the market, seeing the news, etc., you need to just do a SIP on Nifty, and it has to be systematic. That is why it's called an SIP, because you just have to keep pumping in the money as and when the market corrects, because you will get the best bang for the buck. See, if I would rather buy it here in the இடத்துல, so at the bottom, or at probably here somewhere in the week, rather than at the top. Okay, so now இங்க டாப்ல வாங்கினா, so obviously you see the profit margins what I will get from here to here is only 24%. But if I had invested somewhere here, okay, so it would have been probably 60-65%. So in probably 2 years, so getting a return of 65% just in investing in index, okay, is a big deal. So this is purely just to give you an idea that this is an uptrending stock. Okay, so in the money there are a lot of other stocks which are downtrending. So I'll give you an idea. I don't know about other things. I'll just take an example of this. So this is an example of a downtrending stock. Okay, so now in the group, when I'm looking at a lot of these chats or messages in the group, I'm seeing a lot of people who are posting charts who are not even looking at charts, whether it is an uptrending or downtrending. So the best way to do is you just go on a monthly time frame and see where. So this is the 100 EMA. Okay, 100 EMA is this blue line. This 50 EMA is the red line, and the 20 EMA is the green line. Okay, so in a monthly time frame, if the stock is not trending upside, I don't think you should even think about longing that stock. Simple, you don't even need to look at the fundamentals, in my view. Okay, long term, if the stock is not trading above the 20 EMA, Okay, usually padalna and you take any Nifty 50 stock. So I'll just take any Nifty 50 stock. You take maybe let's take Apollo Hospitals. Okay, so where do you see primarily trading? It is trading almost always above 20 EMA. Okay, so by the way, I'll clear one confusion. So I'm saying this so that I'll set a context for the VCP. So 20 EMA. So தோராயமா நீங்க பார்த்தீங்கன்னா if you see in a month there are around 20 working days and you can round it off to 20 or 22 or 25 whatever, so approximately 20 working days. Okay, so 12 months, so 20 into 12 is so approximately 20 into 12 is 240, so 20 months now, so obviously approximately 400 days, 20 to 20 400 days are there. Okay, so if you take the 400 EMA on a daily calendar is equivalent to 20 EMA on a monthly calendar, which is equivalent to 100 EMA on a weekly calendar. You do the mathematics, you will understand. 1 week has 5 days, so approximately 52 weeks are there. So if you do, so ideally that is why I'm saying 100 EMA on a weekly is approximately close to 20 EMA on a monthly, which is approximately closely equal to 500 EMA on a daily. Okay, so somewhere around this confluence is where you get the oversold territory. Okay, so usually when the market corrects, you will have a very strong reason why it is moving down. So 2016 something was there. I don't even want to know the reason, but I know there was something bad which is happening with respect to the stock. So illa patelna, so predominantly if you take this stock, okay, Apollo Hospitals, its primary location has been above the 20 EMA on a monthly time frame. Okay, so when you want to talk about VCP, especially in cash markets, you have to look at an uptrending stock. You cannot look at it in a sideways stock, or you cannot look at a downtrending stock and suddenly say it is contracting, compression, etc. It has to be trading predominantly. Let's say if it has been, the stock has been there for 10 years, so out of these 10 years, at least 8 years it should be above 20 EMA. Okay, I hope I am making sense. If I'm not, please stop me, or you can ask me any doubts, or you can just ping in the chat. But predominantly it should be an uptrending stock. Okay, so because always the trend is your friend. So if your stock is not trending upside, there's no point in getting into the stock. So whoever said this is a correction, just look at how small this is in the spec of for the whole time frame. So you have to have that perspective. Say, let's take Bajaj Finance. Okay, so Bajaj Finance, every time it has come to the 20 EMA, so the best confluence what I have seen usually for long-term investors. So now I'll also probably take an example of how I draw the trend lines, etc. So I'll take a weekly time. Okay, weekly time frame is easy for everybody. So illa padalna and 2020 the crash, obviously there should be a reason why the market is going down. So obviously there will be technical news or company is doing bad, etc. Something will be there. So it went below the 200 EMA of weekly. Okay, so the best entry here would have been this particular candle. So if you can see here, 15th June. So all you have to do is keep your stop loss below this previous candle. So the low of this candle, and just trail your stop loss. So what will happen is you just have to keep trailing it. So inge varumbodhu again you can just trail your stop loss below this. So and the whole idea is you buy very close to the EMA where the breakout happens. So if you have missed this breakout, probably the logical entry would be this one. So this is a proper breakout. So the stop loss will be below this. Okay, so what you have to do is whenever it goes very far away from the 20, 50, 100, and for example, if you see this location, right? So this was quite far away. Okay, so on the first reversal, or you take this. So on the first reversal, I will exit. So when I see this wick, I will exit. So that is when a lot of people will be buying, because they will say it is just a pause. Probably if you, long term it is just a pause. So you can book your profits and give an entry again here. So because again if you see there is a bullish engulfing here, and unfortunately it didn't sustain. So again it went sideways and somehow. So you have to look for a proper entry near the 20 EMA or 50 EMA. So that is a great place to enter, and all you have to do is trail your profits. So if you had entered here, the stop loss would have been here. 22% is a big stop loss, but you have to position size accordingly. So what is the return you will get here? So approximately if you had just run it across, it would have been 45%, 1:2 risk reward, which is a good trade. So if you want a longer term, so you just have to choose the monthly time frame. So monthly time frame should be breakout above 20 EMA. Rarely it goes below 50 EMA, or between 20 and 50. If it goes, it's a great entry. So I'm just talking for a layman who doesn't understand trend lines, who just understands basic candlestick patterns, right? I think I've shared the cheat sheet. Even if you Google, you will get multiple cheat sheets. So I follow only two simple things. So I follow a Maribozu candle. So Maribozu is a big green or a big red candle. So this is an example of a red Maribozu candle. This is an example of a good. So of course there will be small wicks. So this is not a Maribozu candle. So if you see a lot of people, I saw them posting that they will enter as soon as they see this candle or this is a pin bar. So you can say kind of a pin bar, but again this has a big wick. So I would want another confirmation. So I will wait for this top to be taken out. So what I will do is I will enter here. Stop loss will be here. So you will have to plan your trades accordingly and start trailing your stop loss. Sometimes what will happen, if you don't catch the so if you want to find momentum based stocks, so in the stock wherever you have entered you would have got stopped with only 10% 15% return. See, இதை எப்படி நம்ம கண்டுபிடிப்போம்? So the reason why I am taking this particular stock as an example is because if you had entered here, so you just had 2 weeks where you could have held it. So if this had been an entry, so you would have probably made only 8% return, right? Again, because after that, if you had not booked your profits here, you would have again hit your stop loss. So so the most important thing is you have to look at a daily time frame. So again, coming to the ground level now. So daily time frame, this is generally good for long term. Ideally, when you look at daily time frame, so you have to buy the stock when the daily time frame where you see this is the 200 EMA, this is the 100 EMA, this is the 50 EMA, this is the 20 EMA. EMA is exponential moving average. So they have to be aligning. So 20 EMA is obviously last 20. So that has to be above 50. 50 has to be above 100. 100 has to be above 200. So the best entries would have been in this position. So in the you should have entered here. So when you enter, so you see here, the stop loss will be very small. So you enter panelna, the stop loss will be here. So it's only 4%. You see the return what you will get here. Even if you had booked it in this candle or probably in this red candle, you would have booked. Okay. So you would have still got 22%. So stop loss is 4%. Reward is 22%. It's almost like you can say 1:5 risk reward. So which is a great risk reward. So a lot of times as newbies, what you can do is you can exit at 1:2 half the position, and then probably exit another 25% at 1:3, and probably trail the remaining, so that you will at least not lose out on the profits. That is what I started doing. I'm just taking an example of Bajaj Finance. This could be applicable with any good trending stocks in Nifty 50. You can take Bharti Airtel also. So you have to know when to buy. See, a lot of times if Adani, this is the most notoriously talked about company. So I'll take this example because the people who are expecting this will crash, this will crash, this will crash. But look at how this has been trading. I have no idea about the fundamentals. Obviously, it is a debt. I am not saying that Adani is a good company, you buy it, nothing like that. I'm just saying from a technical perspective, look at where the EMAs are there. So this is the first criteria for you to identify that this stock could be a potential candidate for VCP. Okay. But if you have any doubts, the best thing is, so trading you will if you just go down, so there is something your button. So there is a show panel here. So if you go here, there is something called stock screener here. So in the stock screener, you will have a place here called filters. So in your filters you can actually enter a lot of commands. So there are so many things you can enter here: common stock, country. So there are a lot of countries also you can enter. So if you're not trading in India, if you're trading US stocks, if you're trading in some other country, unfortunately, and the charting is applicable only for Indian stocks. So this can be used even for stocks which are not within India. You can, if you're trading US markets, that is. Okay. So I set the market capitalization to 500 crores and above. Okay, so ideally, I don't want to deal with stocks which are less than 500 crores because I don't know whether the company will exist. So just for my safety, I have put it 5 billion to anything on top. So and so basically a price above 1.05. And these are all the filters. I think I posted the filters. So it is pretty self-explanatory how to set this. Once you go here, how to set the filters, there are a lot of filters here. You can go here. So the technical filters are there, like change percentage, so many criteria, whatever is there, you can play around with this. So basically, if you just explore trading view, you will understand how to do this. You have simple moving average, you have MACD, so many things are Bollinger Bands, parabolics are. So you can just play around with this and see how these things work. You have the fundamentals, your price to book ratio, all those things are there. So for us, we need only this. நம்மளோட அந்த VCP-க்கு so the first criteria is 10 exponential moving average should be above 20. The 20 exponential should be above 50. and 50 should be above 200. So these are the criteria which I have given. And basically the relative strength, RSI 14. 14 is nothing but 14 days of trading should be above or equal to 55. Okay. So what is RSI and all? You can Google and read about it or watch other videos. So I'm just giving you the filter here. So when you set this filter, so all you have to do is you will just have to refresh it. So idhula vandu by preset lot of columns will be there. So again there will be a column setup appdinu irukunga. You just have to click this. Say, I don't like to see post market change, post market close, post market volume, pre market change, pre market close, pre market gap. இதெல்லாம் எனக்கு வேண்டாம். Okay, so I will probably give the exchange. So probably exchange is nothing but BSE, NSE, that thing. So a lot of people are not comfortable trading BSE stocks. Okay, so you can just give that filter also. So you can just give NSE. So as per today's scanner, I have only 26 stocks which I can actually go long. Okay, so Abbott. So let's take Abbott as an example. Okay, so logically I will. So I am removing the 20 SMA. So now let us go. So far, is there any doubts or any questions before I move into the trend lines, etc.? Or Prasanna, you want to add anything? Because I am just showing how to identify the stocks and set the screener.
Yeah,
Any doubts?
There's a follow-up question from. There was a follow-up question. Okay, from Balambiga, like she was asking how to scan these stocks. I believe you just told.
Yes, sir, because first time I am attending this session.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know how to make the scan. Just now you showed, no?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Just watch the video. I think
I don't know how to set those things.
No problem. You just have a look at the video. It will be easier. Okay. So anything?
Sorry. Yeah, I had one question. So number monthly 20 moving average above irukkarthoda should we also consider pivot? Monthly pivot மேலயும் இருக்கணும்னு ஏதாவது consider பண்ணா would it have an additional weightage?
See, actually, if you are a price action trader, see the lesser number of indicators you have, the easier it is for you. Because what happens is you can load up a lot of. See, I also have 7 indicators here, so but I hardly use any of these. So this was a custom coded indicator which I did based on average true range. Okay, so ATR is also a very good indicator which can be used for profit booking.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So there are different things which can be used. You play around and see what works for you. So adukku vandu I think Prasanna keeps saying this, that you can use new stocks. See, one more thing which you can use is idhula vandu there is something called paper trading. Are you able to see
Correct.
my screen?
Yeah.
So you can use paper trading here and you can also do it here. Okay, so you can reset. So even if your account becomes zero, you can just keep resetting it here and take dummy trades. Okay, so before you do any money trade, right? So psychology, obviously, unless you put your money, you will not be able to understand. You can do paper trading here also, but unfortunately, idla vandu you will not be able to buy options or sell options. You can buy futures and sell futures, but you can't trade options. Adukku vandu neo stocks is the best platform. But I think most of the people who are entering here are in cash market traders. So you can just see, just to make sure how the waters are, you can test it here by using the paper trading. So again, it is exactly the same place where you saw this. So you go here, you have the stock screener here. A lot of things you can code. You can also give your own indicators here. So you can create your own strategy if you know Pine scripts. So there is a paper trading option here. So you'll only just explore it a little bit. So how it works, etc. and all. So don't ask me how it is because it's been long since I used paper trading here. So just explore. You can do paper trading through this thing also. So coming back to
இந்த விசிபி ஸ்கேனர்ல நம்ம அபவுட் இந்தியா ஷார்ட்லிஸ்ட் பண்ணுவோம். இப்போ இதுல வந்து நீங்க எப்படி அனலைஸ் பண்ணுவீங்க ஃபார் தி டே?
So before I analyze the stock, right? So I want to know how the stock is moving, which are the major, so whatever pivots and all, etc. It is moving and all, right? So ideally, என்னோட criteria of VCP scanner is slightly different. See, whatever I told you is like a basic example. So VCP stands for volatility compression pattern. Okay. So you just Google on Mark Minervini's explanation. So I am not the best expert on it. He's like, you can say, the guy. So he is the source of VCP. So how he trades along where he talks about. So there is so he uses this. So in the curve mari use pani. So all the compressions, every compression or whatever. So I don't know to draw such things. Okay. And mine is very simple. Okay. So if there is a VCP pattern, it ideally has to have a weekly breakout or a monthly breakout. Okay, so if you are good at drawing trend lines, you can do that, or you can use the 50 EMA, whatever example. So now if you're horrible at drawing trend lines, okay, so the easiest way to do is you go here. So everybody knows what is Heikinashi. You can just Google it. You just go to Heikinashi setup. Okay, so this filters out the noise, because a lot of times, if Nifty and I'll just give you an example of Nifty before I go back to about again. So Nifty la there is a lot of gaps here. Inge gap irukku. So if you go to daily time frame, it is very clumsy here. Okay, but if I just go to Heikinashi, okay, see, it just cleans out the graph for me, so I can exactly see where it took a U-turn, where exactly is the support, where is the resistance. So going back to about, so we'll go back to our stock so that we will be able to understand. Let's take this. So about as an example. Okay, so for weekly time frame, so this is a major resistance from where the stock has really come down. So again, this is a major resistance. So all I have to do is I'll just connect these two. So it's very easy to draw here. So similarly, maximum number of touch points irukano. So I will draw it this way. I'm just giving a rough example. So after that, what you do is, this might not be the exact thing because it's a Heikinashi setup. So after that, I'll go to candlestick pattern. I'll just make sure that I adjust it. So I usually draw it based on the close of the candle. So I will just adjust it based on the close so that I get the maximum number of touches. So again, red close here. So I'll just make sure I have the maximum number of touches. So I have there it is. So this is my breakout point. So this is how usually on a weekly time frame I will draw the chart line. This is something which is, you will not Google and get it on YouTube. This is something which I myself figured out works for me. So this works on a smaller time frame also. You can try it out. A smaller time frame, I'm talking about daily or 75 minutes. Don't go to 1 minute or 2 minutes. It might not be accurate. So ideal entry would have been in this candle. When it broke out here, this would have been the best entry because the stop loss would have been just here. So now if you put the EMA or the SMA here and see, you will see here, it is kind of very close to the EMA here. It is not too far away. So this would have been a horrible entry because you have moved very far away from 20 EMA. Okay, because people usually see the size of candle, bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing. They talk about this thing. See, bearish engulfing should appear after a trend. So all of you know that, right? So this is not a bearish engulfing, or this is not. I'll give you another example.
There's a bullish harami over
there. So I mean, different patterns are there. So for me, I trade very simple patterns, right? So as I told you, pin bar is a good example. So this is a good example where you could have entered. So 20 EMA will give you the best entries. Okay, I'm talking about like for a layman who has no idea about trend lines, etc. 20 EMA, 50 EMA will give you the best entries on a weekly time frame. Okay, but you have to make sure you're entering a VCP stock. Otherwise, you will end up hitting your stop loss left, right, and center. And see, suppose you miss this entry. Okay, so now let us forget EMAs. Okay, so in the stock number, so I will weekly breakout. Usually, I rely on 75-minute time frame. So 75-minute time frame. Reason I think Prasanna has explained. 1 hour usually 9:15 to 10:15, 10:15 to 11:15, 11:15 to 12:15, 12:15 to 1:15, 1:15 to 2:15, 2:15 to 3:15. Last 15 minutes or candle which is quoted as as a 1 hour candle. But 75 minutes la 5 candles will come, 5 or 6 candles, whatever the number of candles during that day will come. So 75 minutes is a good time frame. This doesn't come with regular one. I have the second like Pro Plus something I have. So you can enter. So you can enter whatever range. So minutes or days or whatever it is. You can enter 6 weeks. So you can decide what time frame you want to enter just to see. So again, if you want to remove the noise and just draw time frames for good entries. So again, so inga breakout aayirukku. So a lot of times people would have missed this breakout. See, I don't see any regular pattern here. So since I don't see a pattern here, what I will do is I'll just take a simple rectangle here. I'll just draw the range here. Okay, just draw the range here for maximum. Usually number ipdane varivom. So you draw here. Again, you go back to candles and you just correct it based on the close, so that you don't. So these are all some basics you have to follow. So again, stop loss will be always below this range. So it will not be inside this range. You cannot choose a candle here, so because it's a range breakout. So you will have to see. So this candle was the range breakout. So but again it tested the range and went up. So the best entry would have been probably on the retest. So if you had extended here, so if you just enter the, either any entry would have worked. So in the entry would have worked. This entry would have worked. This entry would have worked. The only thing is you should have the patience to hold the stock because this is a weekly breakout. So a lot of times when people start posting stocks, so you don't even know how the in the stock life you see here, is 20 MA above 50 MA above 100 MA above 200 MA. So then whatever I'm telling works. So if it is like this, right? So in the mari, for example, a lot of people are posting Tata Power. Okay, so Tata Power, you just look at how the charts are on daily time frame. You will know what I'm talking about. So if you're talking about buying at accumulation zone, etc., just looking at the EMA, if it is like this kind of a setup, 20, 50, 100, 200, you understand that you can long this stock confidently and look to buy near the 20 EMA. Ideally, that will give you the best entries and best bang for the buck. Because every time the stock moves up, people think they should enter here, enter here, enter here. And for somebody who doesn't care about moving averages, so this is one way of doing. So you can draw a range breakout here again. So as of now, there is no other trade or no other entry which probably would have got here. Maybe this is one breakout here again. So again, if you go to in the Varanjal, so you can just see here. So this would have been a good entry here. This candle break would have been a good entry here. So maybe this breakout. So again, if you see here, if you had entered here just with futures, the futures trade, I don't know how many people will do. So in 2 days, you made like almost 4% return, right? So 4% with leverage is almost 20% return in 2 days, right? And you don't have to trade for next 2 weeks because 20% return in 2 days is quite big. A lot of people only dream of that kind of return after 2, 3 months, 4 months, etc. So you can actually look at pure VCP stock. So I think Prasanna shared this scanner as well. So you can either use the one here in TradingView or you can use the one here in it. So we'll take probably one more example and maybe we can go for questions. Is it okay or any questions are there?
Yeah, Balambika has questions.
Yeah, please.
Sir, I have one doubt. You are telling that that VCP scanner, no? That VCP scanner, what are all the stocks is coming, that first we need to analyze in weekly time frame, no? In weekly time frame, but it's not far from the 20 moving average, it's near the moving average.
We will take an example from here only now. So let's take an example from here. I took about from there. So I'll take an example from here probably. We'll take probably skipper. Okay. I have not drawn the trend lines. Hopefully I have not drawn. Maybe I would have drawn also. If I have drawn, I will remove it. So okay. So I have not drawn anything here. So let's first check number criteria. So is it matching our criteria? Yes. Are you able to see here? So it is 20, 50, 100, 200. Okay. So now I will have to see where the breakouts happened. So just pure price action doesn't even look at moving averages. So you can draw support resistance also in a similar way. So the reason why I do Heikinashi is because it removes the noise, the gap ups, gap downs and all. So if you're a pure support resistance trader, you can just mark the supports. So in the Mari, you can mark this is so again, you just have to come to the candlestick and just adjust it. So you just adjust it. So you can draw it as a range. So Prasanna draws it as a range. So from the close of the candle to the end of the week. So if you go on a smaller time frame, so again this is a range. So in the this range breakout happened here. So you can enter here, or this will be a good place to buy, along the support. So this is where you could have entered. Again, if you're able to see the time frame here, so this is a bullish engulfing. So a lot of times in the wick path, a lot of people may not enter here. So a good candle would have been is once this high is taken here, maybe either this candle or this candle, both are fine. So the best entry would have been here on a weekly time frame. So if you want trend lines, let me draw the trend lines for you. So I'll make it very simple here in the trend lines. So the stock has actually had so the reason why I like trend lines is because usually it gives you a history of the stock. So if you just draw support resistance, sometimes you don't know how the stock has done in the past, where it has broken, etc. So it has had a big fall. So let's look at the monthly time frame also. So in the monthly time frame, you see let's draw it on a monthly time frame here. So I will draw this trend line here, and I can see that there is a breakout which has happened here. Somewhere here on a monthly time frame, it has started moving up. Okay, so now I'll just have to adjust it here based on the close. I think this will be good. So maybe this candle is not a good candle to enter. Probably this is confirming that it has broken out. Okay. So once this breakout has happened, so either you go on a monthly breakout. So what you can do is you can either look at daily time frame or at a 75-minute time frame for the entry. So let's look at daily time frame. So let's see if you can find any good entries. So idhula pathilna, so once the breakout has happened, so again there was a let's 75 minutes I think gives you a better opportunity to draw trend lines here. So if you see the breakout has happened here, okay, if you just draw a trend line here, the beautiful breakout which has happened here. So I am just drawing here, and I will just adjust it based on the close on the. So I just go here, just adjust it. So it will not be exact or accurate. So these are all like everything what we draw is just an approximation. So if you see here, I will have to adjust the close here, and probably maximum number of touches here, and probably here. Okay, so this is a proper triangle breakout. So if you had just taken the break, so you always enter on a pullback. You don't enter on the breakout candle. So wait for the pullback usually. So in the candle would have been the best entry for you, or probably this, or you could have probably the candle which takes out the high here. So in the candle you could have entered, or probably you could have entered in this breakout candle also. So if you see here, it has gone up. So almost like 12% it has given you in 2 days. Okay, so in the money 75-minute time frame la, if you want to have 10%, 12%, 15% return quickly, it will only happen if it is preceded by a monthly or a weekly breakout. I think அது வந்து தனி ஒருவன் dialogue சொல்லி நான் போட்டேன் இல்லையா. So if you see, this was a monthly breakout. Ideally speaking, the reason why you got this kind of a move on a 75-minute time frame, because you were able to capture this monthly breakout with an immediate 75-minute breakout. So as you move ahead, so there will be multiple breakouts. So there was another range breakout here. I can see a range breakout here, where the range was broken here. So if you, as you keep entering at different points, right? So you are moving away and away and away from the 20 EMA. So again, there is a consolidation here. So you could have entered here also. So again, as you move farther and farther away from the breakout, you are getting closer to a correction. So if you see here, though the breakout happened, it was a fake out. So again, it started pulling back. Okay, so that is why I'm saying you use a combination of trend lines, support, resistance, whatever. So I usually use trend lines because trend lines and boxes. So if there is no pattern, so now I just draw this box. So here I don't see any pattern here. I'll just draw this box. So I'll just wait for this range to be taken out, and I will enter whichever candle takes out this range. I will enter here, and the stop loss will be below this range. So so this candle from here to here, just in 17 days would have given you 54% return. Okay, I am just finding a stock using this scanner. Okay, in the scanner மூலமா, if you just look here, or whichever charting, whichever you use, இதுல வந்து உங்களுக்கு you had 25 stocks, அதுல வந்து 26 stocks இருக்கு. So whichever stock you see, whenever you get such fast returns in a short span of time, just book it and exit, and you can always re-enter it. So if you are able to have a logical entry using trend lines or using EMA, please re-enter it again with proper stop loss. Okay, so a lot of people I see posting here, they say என்ன பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா, இந்த சார்ட் இங்க பாத்துருவாங்க, டெய்லி டைம் ஃப்ரேம்ல இப்படி போட்டுருவாங்க, or maybe weekly time frameல it has corrected a bit, do you think it's a good time to enter here அப்படின்னு சொல்லி கேட்பாங்க. Okay, so usually what I see is after the breakout, the 33% to 50% retrace usually happens as a good breakout. If it doesn't, I think Prasanna, you can talk about the order filling, etc. But usually in the 33% to 50% retrace is a good retrace, because that is a healthy breakout. But anything below 50, it is a dead cat bounce. So these are all some technical jargons. Oliver Wallace talks about all these things, whatever I'm talking about. So in the breakout, like ideally, my next entry would be around this 100 level. Maybe around 100 level, I will see a bullish candle, or maybe 98, 100 on the level. I am not using any EMA, just pure price action. So in this entire move, I am taking 50%. Around the 50% range, if I get a good entry, I'll look for it. I am not looking at an entry here because it's moved too far away from my comfort level. So so usually this is how I draw a trend line. So Bank of Baroda, the reason why I'm saying Bank of Baroda, maybe we'll look at Cummins India. So Cummins India, this is a very good breakout. So I'll take this as an example, because Cummins, I could see this was a proper monthly breakout. Okay, so it broke out. This has been almost close to years, maybe 4 years, 5 years breakout. So in the breakout candle, So if you had entered here, so again you will see how many entries you would have got. Okay, so once that monthly breakout happened, there is a breakout here, then there is a breakout here, there is a breakout here, there is a range breakout here, range breakout here. So once it is moved too far away, so again you see here, right? So monthly candle, so idilla 50% will be a good place to buy. So I think there is a beautiful video by Prasanna. What is discounted price? What is premium price? Adapati, I think Prasanna has explained in one of the YouTube videos. Please search in Prasanna's channel. You'll be able to find. But coming back to the point, so ideally around 50% mark is a good place to enter. If it doesn't come, I'll look at a different stock, because usually it is very risky to buy at the top. It is good to buy here and sell here. So the people who are asking for who want to enter here, I'll be selling to them. Okay, so you have to be very cautious when the market moves so quickly. So see how far away from the 20 EMA it has moved. Anytime it is moved too far away from 20 EMA, you book some profits, and you can always re-enter it again when it comes closer to 20 EMA. That's why I'm again coming back to Nifty. So now everybody is bearish about Nifty because it is just created a huge candle. Like you see how big this candle is, right? But same was this candle in here, right? So this candle, a lot of people, I mean, honestly, even I was thinking it will go and test this point or 12,000, whatever the unfilled orders were there. And the time, like, I was not following Prasanna's channel. So I was thinking it will go down further and probably in the breakout a test and probably somewhere until here. Until here, I thought it will go and test and come back, but it didn't do that. So usually 100 EMA is a good bounce. Any of the EMAs is a good bounce. So what I am expecting is I am expecting a bounce here or around 50 EMA. So 50 EMA is around 17,300. So whatever I am posting here is just simple EMA and simple is it. And profit booking, what you can do is you can trade it based on ATR. ATR is nothing but average true range. Other you take the high of the week and low of the week, whatever is the difference is the range. So the money they take the range for 10 days or 14 days, etc. So you take the open of the candle and you add the average true range to the open of the candle and subtract it. So that will give you the range for that week. So the moment it breaks out or breaks down from that, you can see faster movement. So that is how the whole thing works. So I think I was a little fast, I think, in certain things, but once you do a few charts and do a little bit of back testing, right, you will understand what I'm talking about. So this is actually a great time to enter a lot of good stocks, provided you get a good bullish entry along the EMA. So one is EMA gives you the location. Okay. The second thing is it should give you the landmark also. Landmark is your bullish engulfing or tweezer bottom or pin bar or whatever the bullish harami, because there are so many candlestick patterns which are there. So if you just trade in very simple candlestick patterns, right? So like for example, you see this pin in the three soldiers or whatever it is, whatever simple patterns you trade, you will usually make a lot of money instead of like taking complicated things like looking at OI, what does VIX say, etc. Nothing wrong in looking at it, but usually price action gives you a good entry and exit as per my experience from whatever I've done. So that's what I think I wanted to share. Is any other question before I can?
So Prashant, ஸோ ஃபஸ்ட்டு மந்த்லி பிரேக் அவுட்டில் வந்து ஆகியிருக்கணும், அதுக்கப்புறம் டெய்லியில் வீக்லியில் ஆகியிருக்கணும், அதுக்கப்புறம்
see for example, we'll take Asian Paints. A lot of people are thinking about Asian Paints or this. So Asian Paints has been range bound for a very long time, right? So so ideally a good place to buy will be along the supports. Okay, so how will I know the supports? Just go to Aikanashi weekly time frame. Look at where it has taken a U-turn. So a lot of times people are not knowing where to join the candles, right? So a lot of people might join here also. People are joining here also. Okay, so look at the biggest bounces, where the biggest U-turns have happened, where color has changed from red to green and it has rallied. Color has changed from red to green and it has rallied. This is a good place to buy the stock. So idhula the range bound trading will be only along the support. Okay, if you want to trade Asian Paints, you should buy it here. You should have the confidence to buy it here and keep the stop loss slightly below this and be ready to take the stop loss if it closes below this. So a lot of times the candle might go till here, but it will reverse and go up. So you have to be very careful about it. So unless it closes, don't take the stop loss, because that is how usually it is called stop loss hunting. And don't be afraid of taking stop loss, because usually and the Oliver Wells report, he draws a snowman. So stop loss should be, your head should be small, the body should be big. If you keep your stop loss here, right, so the head will be this much, but the body will be huge. So usually your profit should be huge, the stop loss should be small, and it's almost like falling from jumping from the table. It should not hurt you if you position place properly. Start with paper trading. Now, Sonamari, whatever I'm telling you will be theoretical unless you actually get into some trades. So I would rather recommend you to enter 10, 15, 20 stocks using this paper trading, because there is nothing to lose. Even if you lose, you can just reset this account and actually test it in real market, whatever I'm telling you, because there is nobody is to be trusted in stock market unless you get that confirmation with your own money, dummy money or real money. Try it out. If it works, it's great. And did I answer your question? Like, it can be a weekly breakout or a monthly breakout. For Asian Paints, there was no breakout. So if Adani End so there was a breakout here. Okay, so why Adani End rallied? You see here, right? 2018 2021 there was a range within which it was going. So this was a breakout which happened here. I don't know a lot of people whether they even noticed this. Okay, I don't care about what fundamentally the stock was doing. Okay, so there is a breakout here. Are you able to see this candle? In the candle, a breakout aggregate. So if you had drawn this, you would have understood that this is a proper VCP pattern, and that is why it kept giving opportunities, getting the breakout into the range, breakout into the. So obviously, until there was a breakdown. So we'll take an example of breakdown, and after that I'll give it to Prathama. So we'll take example probably Laurus Labs. Laurus Labs is a very good example. Can we enter? Can we enter? I've seen a lot of queries here. So if you see here, so in the this is in the pattern. So so the reason why Laurus Labs is going down is because, so if you join here, there was a big weekly breakdown. Okay, so I'll just adjust it here. So just to make sure that we are getting the lines right. So it broke down here. So this point is where it broke down. Okay, this is where it retested it, and again it fell. So in my view, the best place to buy will be around 309, maybe around 300 range, where it takes the support of this line. It could probably go here. That is why I use EMA. So you don't know whether it will exactly take the line. So EMA is also like a fence. If you boxing ring, it will not exactly not go below EMA. So a lot of times you will see here, mostly all stocks respect the EMA. So it went below 50 EMA, but like for example, it would have gone below, but it will keep going up. So it went below, but it went up. So use this as a good place to enter once it shows a bullish candle here. Yeah. Anything else?
I have one question.
Yeah, please go ahead. I think we are running short of time, Prasanna. Should we close now or?
No. It's fine. It's fine. We will wrap by 11:10.
Okay. Sure. No problem. Please ask. I think
it was Nanda.
Yeah, it's me.
Please
I also that is a channel, it's a downtrend channel. And why not you consider about a price engagement? Is supply and demand zone? Is in right left side they have a huge demand zone that will be treated as a zone. Maybe it
which one? This one you're saying? This
zone? No. This,
no, way below that, where the price has retested at 384. The consolidation from the March to April, I believe. To your left side.
Right.
This one?
No, April. Come to 2021 April.
Okay. 2021 April. You're saying this one?
Yes.
Yeah, that we can make it a box and
yeah.
Now it's in the price engagement area. Maybe it may test 350 on the bottom.
See, that's what I'm saying now. It's a good place. Like, so obviously that whatever was your resistance becomes your support. Support becomes your resistance, which is true. I mean, this could be a place where it could bounce, or what usually happens is it might go below it and then take a U-turn. So because supply and demand is not like hard cut in this thing.
Yeah, there is a possible, but not in a sudden.
Yeah, I mean, usually what happens is it is not hard cut exactly at supply zone. That's why Prasanna usually draws a big zone. Like, so if you see Prasanna's zone will be from here to here, right?
Yeah.
So it will not be exactly at this line.
Yeah, not exactly.
The zone. It will be an area.
Yeah, that area.
Yeah. So because see what happens is now, I mean, like similarly, EMA is also an area. That's why I'm saying. So EMA is also a big area. So you can use EMA, supply demand, all works. The only thing is you should be good at drawing supply demand, because a lot of people are asking doubts about how do I draw supply demand. So my simple thing is you go to Aikanashi, you see where the color has changed. That is a good place to draw supply or demand wherever it is, right? So and adjust it based on the close or close of the candle, so that you are able to get it accurately. If you want to draw zones, I'm not an expert in supply demand, but usually I trade EMA. So EMA is a good way where I can look similar for supply demand as well.
We'll take questions from Rajkumar and Amar. They've been raising hand for a very long time.
Sure, please go ahead. Prasanna, you can also chip in case I'm not giving good answers.
Once done with Rajkumar and Amar, I'll start to share my screens. Rajkumar, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Hi, sir. Sir, actually, now we have taken up Loris Labs, right? So, is it there may be any chances or any dependency of a stock that needs a sector or some indices tailwind? Say, for example, Loris Lab it is of pharmaceuticals, right? So, if in a particular trend, if overall pharma stocks or indices not performing well, so in that case can we consider this Loris Lab? So that அதாவது லாரஸ் லேப் வந்து இப்போ நீங்க கன்சிடரேஷனுக்கு நம்ம எடுத்தாலும் இண்டெக்ஸஸோட டெய்ல்விண்ட் வேணுமா சார்?
See, one thing என்னன்னா வந்து ideally I don't track pharma sector that much, because I just look at it, it is mostly news driven. Okay, and so you can have a look at the indices, nothing wrong. So obviously the drawing of trend lines or EMA applies for that as well. Okay, but sometimes there will be outliers. Outliers na எப்படின்னா வந்து உங்களுக்கு exceptions இருக்கும். So sometimes வந்து due to some reason, so for example you take KPIT stock, right? So I take an example of KPIT, which is a tech stock.
Yes, sir.
Compared to any other IT stock, the people are saying this will crash, this will crash, this will crash for a long time. So you see how long this has been consolidating, right? So I remember people were saying that it is going to crash from here. Okay, so you see the consolidation, so it has crashed only now. Okay, so now there is a possibility that it will come down. Okay, but if you see TCS or the top Nifty 50 stocks, they have already crashed, right? So there will always be outliers in every industry. Okay, so if you are trading a particular stock, you look at that particular stock and also then look at the industry. Okay, you don't trade against the trend of the industry, but if that stock is trading at a good level, let's say at a premium to what the industry is doing, or let's say premium price to trade, or the industry P versus stock P, so you will get an idea whether the stock is good or it is overpriced, etc. So you can accordingly exit or enter. So the best way, what I will do is like the ATR. If you draw that ATR, right? So ATR top and bottom, you will see. Those will give you good places where you can actually see whether the stock is going to move up or it's going to reverse for that particular month. I like to draw ATR for that month or week. So a daily time frame, unless you're doing intraday, it doesn't make sense to do. See, first of all, I want to tell you one thing. So don't even consider the stocks which are not coming in this VCP if you're looking for cash market trading. Okay, unless you are looking to buy the dip. See, for example, enoda case la vandu, see, I'll close with this example. Tata Elxsi. The reason why I'm keeping on talking about Tata Elxsi is because, see, if you draw, I think Fibonacci is also another concept. So, so from the top to the bottom, if you connect glass, so one is this is the top it made, this is the bottom it made. The Fibonacci level is around 5629. So this is a place where solid bounce will happen. So what will happen usually in the money days la enna, so in the money stocks la sometimes unless you give a limit order போட்டு வைக்கலனா, so sometimes it will gap down and suddenly shoot up from there. You will not get that Fibonacci level exactly. Okay, so that is also a possibility. So if you are buying around the Fibonacci, or you take the 500-day EMA, okay, so the moment it comes here, this stock is on my radar, because fundamentally there is nothing wrong with this stock, just one quarter bad results. So this stock cannot be so horrible that it falls so badly, it's just one quarter bad results, right? So I will wait for a good bullish confirmation on a weekly. So it is around 6080. So this is definitely on my radar, because you have to, if you are looking for long term investments, you have to enter when the stock is actually at a discount. You cannot enter at it when it comes here at 9,000 rupees. That is what usually people trade who will do. If you are entering it as an investment, then you have to look at it this way. but most of the people here are looking to make money in cash market. So I don't see any reason why you should look at bearish stocks or sideways stocks. You just have to go to VCP, choose the stock which comes here, draw the levels. If you're having doubts, post it in the group. Say this is the levels I see, and enter the trade accordingly. So if you do the VCP for, let's say, if you want to trade in futures or the thing, just change it here in chart Inkler. There is an option. You just have to futures here. So there are only 3 stocks in futures which can be long: about Zydus Life Science and Lupin, which is nothing but the pharma sector.
So sir, even if you are taking for swing or positional kind of thing, you will also consider the EPS of the respective quarter, or will you also take fundamentals as one criteria?
It depends. See, it depends on how long you want to hold it. See, if you're going to hold a stock for 3 months or 4 months, right? So you have to know a little bit about the fundamental of the company, right? See, for example, you take GMR Infra. Okay, so I am taking GMR Infra as an example because it was a sudden spike. In infra, GMR Infra started going up. Okay, you see this candle. So a lot of people would have started buying around this candle, right? So I was also thinking that this breakout will happen. So this is you see the breakout here. So this is like from 2009. So I thought this channel, it will break out this month. It almost tested the trend line, but see the fall has fallen here, right? So ideally, my interest is on a stock only after a monthly breakout happens. Otherwise, I'm not even interested, especially because if you look at this, it has a negative PE. It is not showing any good cash flow. So I don't want to get into the fundamentals, but if I want to hold it for 3 months or 6 months, this stock should be making money. Okay, so that is important. Otherwise, what is the point in holding a stock for 3 months? If you are doing a swing trade, you don't have to care about it. Like swing trade means I'm talking about like 2 to 3 days or 5 days.
Yes, sir.
You are looking at a 1:2 or 1:3. You're not looking at 100% return, right? So that is not how people enter swing trades.
Yes, sir.
Shant, the default time frame for VCP scanner is weekly or monthly?
Daily. So this is just to filter the noise. You can change it if you want. You could just go to charting, right? So in charting, let me just show the charting here. Just a sec.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Amar, you can just shoot out your questions. Meanwhile, Prashant is fetching the screen.
Yeah, actually, I had the same question. Like, I want to take swing trades just for 1 week.
Okay.
So I just wanted to ask, like, how do we filter the stocks for that? Like, do we have to follow the same approach of first seeing it on monthly, weekly, and on daily? And what should be the time frame? And what all things we should look into it?
Okay, I'll give my answer. Then probably Prasanna can also say. So what I will always do is I will definitely look at multi-time frame analysis. Okay, there is nothing you will get if you just look at daily time frame or weekly time frame alone. Because see, when I'm trading in a stock, I should know the history of the stock, right? So if without knowing the history of the stock, it will be like blindfolding myself and trying to find out whether the stock is going up. If you just go into 75-minute time frame here and draw this trend line, okay, and you say it's a breakdown, it's a bad stock, you will not know. See, for example, Axis Bank, it is a breakdown. Okay, but if you look at the large turn, it has broken out from a 4-year accumulation. Okay, you see how small this kind of a thing. I am expecting it to come to 832 levels probably, or maybe around 870 levels, and then it's going to continue going up. No doubt about it. Okay, so it might shake out the weak traders. The reason why I draw on a higher time frame is because you see the forest, you don't look at the trees. Okay, so if you look at only the smaller time frame, this will be a clear breakdown and a downtrending stock. Even the daily time frame for that matter, because suddenly it is gone here and it has come down. But you look at a monthly time frame here, you see how beautiful of a breakout it is. I would rather want to buy now at the bottom of this channel if it comes here. Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
All right, thank you for the great explanation, Prashant. Okay, members in YouTube and here in Google Meet, the scanner link has already been posted in our Telegram group and it has also been pinned. Okay, one more usage of VCP I would like to share with along the concept of what Prashant had told us here. So when you're using moving averages, right? Moving averages, if you're a beginner, newbie, you don't know how to draw trend lines or you don't know how to draw supports and resistance, When you are using a simple moving average, that is going to show you whether the stock is on a uptrend or a downtrend. How do you find? So when you see the lines are currently, going in this sort of angle. See, I always say in my YouTube, when you find the angle is being from like 30 to 45 degree, like how an aeroplane takes off, you consider this whole as an uptrend. And when you find the whole, the moving average bands following down from the upside to the downside, the same like 30 to 40 degree, you see the whole thing is for a downtrend. Plus, someone was asking about here, like I think Rajkumar, yes, you were asking about if you are to look about fundamentals and things, quarterly results if you are trading for swings, right? Let's say Rajkumar, we are like around 11 to 12 members over here. We are all the board members of TCS. Sorry, let's take it as Infosys, right? So Infosys recently they celebrated their yearly thing. So what will happen is that let's say we are hearing the board results right now. Who will take first advantage? Is it the people outside like us, the retailers, the media people, or the financial institutions, or us board members? Board members will take the advantage of booking the stock if Infosys is on a very high level. Then the news goes to the media. Then the media will publish it to the people. So later on a date, maybe consider it at 1 or 2 days, retail peoples like us will be getting the news. If you're a person, there's no offense here, if you're a person who's reading newspaper, taking tips from it, and you are then trading the stock market, very sorry, the news has already been discounted by the price, which is why I always follow technical analytics. Of course, fundamentals is very necessary to find what is the value of the company, but when you're going for a swing trades or sorts, it is all about the system here. System executing the buy order into the sell orders. That is all the system watches for. That is the system watches for how many orders that has been punched in this quarter, how many orders are being punched today for intraday. You and me, we or even 11 to 12 people over here, even if we all put 1 crore all together, we would not even cross 15 to 16 crores. But if you see the daily transactions of an FII and DII, everything is around 3,000, 2,000, 1,000. Even last November, if you see, there was 6,000 crores of transactions that happened last November 2021. So that is the amount of transactions that happen in a day. So my suggestion, take it as a suggestion. Okay, for best bets, don't look at fundamentals if you are going for swings and short terms. Obviously, you need to look at it if you are going for a very long term basis. And the same skipper stock, if you see Prashant was explaining on the weekly time frame, if you are see this is a distribution phase. I assume Rajkumar, right? Rajkumar, you were asking, you were having doubts on distributions and accumulations.
Yes,
so, it's a very, very, very simple concept. I already told this on my videos. I'll tell it again. So accumulation happens on an uptrend. See, stock market doesn't goes like up and down, up and down, up and down like zigzags. Say it goes up, goes for a sideways. We call this as a consolidation, and it goes up, goes into sideways, and then it goes up. Okay, people who have bought here, they will try to book the profits over here, and what will happen is it will stay for over here. The reason why the stock is staying over here for a lot of time is that it doesn't get enough orders. See, you and me, we are punching just maximum 100 to 200 quantities of Sun TV or Skipper or whatever it is. It is just like 2 lakhs only for us. But those biggies out there, they'll be punching in heavy number of quantities. Until or unless the system clears all the quantities that are coming in, the market will not move. So it is to our priority to understand when there is sideways on an uptrend market, you call it accumulation. And when there is sideways during downtrend market, you call this as a distribution, because they will try to sell huge number of quantities. In order to sell, you need an equivalent buying power. So all these buys, who will buy? Us retailers, we are the scapegoats here. We will think, okay, they will take the candle out of here on a breakout. They will make us believe that this is going to be go on a uptrend. People who don't know technical analysis, people who just see prices on Google daily, they will think, okay, this is a smart breakout. The market is turning up. Let me go and buy. And they will start to buy, and these biggies will flush whatever orders they have, and the price starts to come down, and people will start to blame, hey, stock market is a big game of gambling. So this is what happens. So accumulation and distribution are the core basics of price. First, when we understand very well that can be very well punched into. And coming back to the skipper point, and I'll wrap with this. If you see, this was the previous high, and skipper is doing a weekly level of profit booking. See, from the last low, this was the last swing low, which, like Prashant said, this is the major U point where the price zoomed. Always look out for these levels. Max to max, the 618 level, where you can find some sort of a resistance. What was the previous resistance will now come into a support. If 618 is a support and you see a good reversal candle, that is when you enter into skipper, giving you a good amount of profits. Where will you take your first target? The recent high will be your first profit. Book partial, and then you can keep trailing your the stop loss, or you can keep booking partials as the stock moves on. So I hope you all had the a glimpse of the VCP scanners, and we'll do a same sort of routine on the next week also. Maybe next week we'll leave it to the new year, and we can enjoy our holidays. After that, we can we can come back again on January weekends. So people around here, I am going to share you the Nifty weekly levels for upcoming week. So this is going to be exclusive for you all people, since you are all here. I wanted to share you the weekly levels, upcoming weekly levels for Nifty. Yes. So currently Nifty is standing at around a price of 17,806. Nifty breaching below 17,867. Expect Nifty for around 17,555, which is a round and a magical number. Nifty, covering the rallies post above 1800. You can expect around 18,120. All these levels will be posted in the Telegram channel. So thank you people, thank you all for coming here, and thank you Prashant for explaining the VCP and sharing the charting scanner here. I think people will be taking advantage of this.
Thank you, Prashant. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, all right. Good night, everybody. See you all in another meeting. Stay tuned to the Telegram channel. See you all. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, see you. Bye. Thank you, Rajkumar. Thank you, Krishna.
Thank you, sir.